Oh hey guys, welcome back to another video. Imagine this, it's the year 2012. NATO is still fighting in the spicy sandcastle that is Afghanistan and the Middle East. Russia hasn't even annexed Ukraine. And you're in Charles Show. And you pass by the booth of a brand called Cry Precision. And in this booth you can see the AVS, a revolutionary system that allows the end user to either use the same system as a low-vis body armor carrying solution, the max end of the spectrum, a fully bombed out war rig with pouches over pouches while still distributing the weight due to the harness all over the torso. Quickly, the AVS got adopted in many special forces units all around the world. In my opinion, most famously the Ranger Regiment, and the AVS has established itself as a good plate carrier. But 2012, that was 14 years ago. It was last decade. What has changed? We're no longer fighting in Afghanistan in a sandbox, but instead there are World War I style trench lines across Europe again. The US is preparing for another island hopping campaign in the Pacific. And in all of this, I wanted to ask the question, is the AVS still a viable body armor system almost 1.5 decades after its introduction? The short answer is no. The long answer is yes. How the fuck is that possible? Well, stick around and you'll find out. I want to preface this by saying that we're not talking specifically about the Cry brand AVS, but more about the AVS system and what this revolutionary product has started in the body armor market. Now, I only have theoretical knowledge about the AVS, even though I have used it for more than 2 years now and have gone through a lot of variations in terms of setting it up, even without a harness. I only play airsoft with it. I only LARP with the AVS. Luckily, I know one guy who uses the AVS and is a huge fan of it in Ukraine right now. I'm gonna just leave the introduction part to himself.
I'm from Slovenia. I'm pretty young. I don't have much formal experience in the military. I have some, a little bit, right now in Ukraine. Just finished a deployment in a recon drone team. Just putting it out there that it's not like people think, oh, you're in drones, you're safe. It's not like that. You actually do a lot of field stuff as well. And recon drones are very close to the line usually.
Now Balt, as I'm gonna call him for this video, is, as he said, from Slovenia, and before his time in the Slovenian army, he was already a LARPer and into tactical gear. And he tested out a lot of different plate carriers, CPCs, JPC, SPC, Slickster, everything mainstream back then and even now. So even though that experience was just in airsoft and LARP, he has already fiddled around with a lot of plate carrier solutions and thereby has a good knowledge on what is possible with good plate carriers. After his time in the Slovenian army, he obviously went to Ukraine, and he got issued a okay plate carrier by his unit in Ukraine with shrapnel protection and everything. But in his words,
if you have tasted the best ones, why go to bad ones? So I had already AVS and I said, just fuck it, I'm gonna buy Kevlar and plates with my own money and I'm gonna run the AVS.
his current setup consists of the L4PC plate bags and cummerbund, the harness and side armor from a Ukrainian company called Protec. So let's go over his setup from the back to the front. On the back, he just has, the USMC hydration panel. In there, he just keeps the Bible and stuff. He keeps his sides almost completely clear, which was surprising to me at first, but we'll get to why that makes sense later on. And he has nothing on there but a knife. And the reason why he has that knife there was quite interesting to me.
For example, when I do drone recoveries or recons and you have to run away from a FPV, like you know that FPV is chasing you, you find an empty position or a friendly position you can jump inside to so it doesn't blow you up. And then the cannon event is getting your helmet stuck in the drone net, so like, oh fuck, oh fuck. You hear the drone coming for you and you just take the knife, you just cut the fucking net and you can jump inside without losing your helmet or your nodes if you're doing it at night or something like that, which is extremely nice in my opinion.
So we're finally arrived at the front, the interesting part. On there he just has 3 5.56 mags and a MK5 placard from Balt Gear, also a Ukrainian-based company, a Sharpie, some zip ties, 3 tourniquets, a dangler with miscellaneous stuff, land nav and Right in the Rain, and a groin protector. Now you might ask yourself, what the fuck? He's fighting in Ukraine and only has 3 mags? We'll get to that shortly. But what he told me is that
it's essentially just for protection and quick access of mags and tourniquets.
But why is that? Why is it so slim? Well, In the region that he was and is currently operating in, the trenches are very, very thin. And you can imagine that if you want to run for cover quickly because of an FPV, or you want to repel an attack by Russian soldiers, you need to be fast and agile in those trenches. And having a bombed out AVS doesn't help. And if you think about it, the AVS that he has is already quite thick. I mean, he has the side armor going all the way around, even underneath the plate bags, then the harness, and then the cummerbund, and then the plate bags. If you now add more pouches to the side, front and back, this gets very wide and you can't maneuver in those trenches as well. And he also keeps his front really slick because, in his words,
I used to run a GP pouch in the front, but it was bulky, okay, keeps you more off the ground, which you don't want to. You want to be as close to the ground if you go prone, because if you go to prone, you do it for a good reason.
But again, he only has 3 mags. Now, 3 mags aren't enough, especially from what he told me. Drone teams, as he is, need a lot of ammunition because they get attacked a lot, more than you actually think, because they're the ones stopping big Russian movements from happening by, recon. So a main focus from the Russians right now is to take out these drone teams. So you need a lot of ammo. So what you want to do is you want to keep fire superiority so they can't get any closer to you, frag your positions, because then you're f***ed. Now, I know this video is about the AVS, but we quickly need to discuss the belt setup. On his belt, he has 8 mags, a couple grenades, smoke and frag combined, a multi-tool, some miscellaneous mission stuff, and 3 more tourniquets, together with his IFAK and 1 more groin protector. Why, you would ask? Well, the groin protector on his plate carrier is more for the hip or stomach region, while the groin protector on his belt is purely for protecting his balls. I can understand that. I wouldn't want to lose my balls either to FPV drone. It's kind of gay. One more thing that is important to mention here is his belt setup can go up to a weight of between 6 and 9 kilos. That's a lot of weight on your hip. So he obviously added some suspenders that go underneath his plate carrier to help with that weight. And one more thing that is really important to note on the belt is the belt in and of itself also has ballistic protection. It's the NSYS gear belt, so you don't get your kidneys shredded by shrapnel, because I think I recently read a paper that said that 77% of casualties in the Russo-Ukrainian war are from shrapnel. Now, we looked at his kit, we understand why it's set up the way it is, which is already pretty interesting in and of itself. We know what he has used before in terms of kit, either issued or not, and now we can come to the conclusion. How good is the AVS doing in modern combat? Pretty good, actually. In his own words,
best plate carrier ever, in my opinion.
And although it doesn't perform as well on long rucks, because you have the armor, the harness, and the plate bags, and then possibly a hydration pouch on the back, and if you then add a ruck to it, you can already imagine that that leads to a big distance between the body and the ruck. And if you know anything about rucking, you want the biggest weight, the ruck, as close as possible to your body to avoid damaging your spine and tiring you out unnecessarily, because the further away the ruck is, the heavier the ruck feels. But even with rucks in Ukraine right now, he says that it's the best option to go with compared to the one he used in the Slovenian military and the one he got standard issued from his unit during training and before he bought the AVS. So even with rucking, the AVS is great because it distributes the weight not only on your traps, but also on your entire torso, thereby not giving you huge neck pain once you arrive in position. And even outside of rucking, the AVS still reigns supreme simply because it provides such a good weight distribution for all of the armor that you wear. And as you know, the more you tire yourself out with unnecessary weight or weight distribution that is bad, the less good you're going to perform in combat, and you're going to be less focused when it actually counts. So staying comfortable is more important than you maybe think. And obviously, Ukraine isn't the entire world. The war will look entirely different depending on where you are in the world. But I think the AVS system still reigns supreme on any other plate carrier system out there. Simply because, and I can prove this myself, you can have it set up in a slick kind of JPC, SPC type of way with QD everywhere and not a lot of stuff on it for direct action raids. You can have it set up like I did with a harness and run it without a belt. You can bomb it out completely like a friend of mine did from Canada with pouches everywhere and it weighing like 15 million bajillion kilos. Or you can set it up like him. Kind of slim, but still giving you a lot of ballistic protection so you don't die from shrapnel, while still remaining comfortable. And I think this is the reason why the AVS still reigns supreme today. Again, I don't mean the Cry AVS. The Cry AVS in and of itself is outdated and isn't relevant anymore. But I mean the AVS in and of itself as a concept. I mean, look at my friend. He has L4PC plate bags, Protec harness, L4PC cummerbunds, but the idea of the AVS, the system, still reigns supreme. And especially if you look at L4 Performance right now, releasing their laser cut AVS harness. This is a huge, in my opinion, revolution because it makes the usually very thick AVS harness very, very thin, almost like wearing nothing, which is insane to me. In conclusion, the AVS is still the best plate carrier system out there, just not from Cry. Hi guys, editing loading here. I think I missed clarifying this in the video, but what I'm trying to get at here is that the plate carrier system in and of itself isn't the best at every role. It's not the best direct action or the best load bearing plate carrier. However, it can excel in both roles. And so what I'm really trying to say is that the AVS is a jack of all trades, a master of none, and that is the thing that makes it such a good plate carrier system. Back to the video. And with that, I want to thank Balt for taking the time out of his free time to talk to me about his gear and his experience. If you want to donate to his unit,
About that, we are a little bit on the edge still, like how we're gonna do the team profile, stuff like that, but I think we're gonna do it later down the line, and I will give you the link. You will post it in the description or into the comments. And yeah, people, if you want to donate, I will be extremely grateful. The whole team will be, and any amount of money will help us to kill more orcs on the line. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that.
I will put the link for a donation website once I get it in the description. Also, if you want to follow Balt on Instagram, I will put his link down below as well. However, be warned, the account is private. He decides who can follow him and who doesn't. And to the Russian spies trying to get some valuable intel from him,
don't worry, I'm not important enough, and I blur everything that needs to be blurred usually.
So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week with a probably less important topic. LARP.